Hey, hey, thanks, guys. Just a couple of Florida boys here sitting in sub-zero temperature in Iowa talking about presidential politics. We'll have to figure out how that happened another time. Let's talk about the race, though. How are you feeling this morning?
Well, I'll tell you, most Floridians don't come north in January, but particularly in the middle of a blizzard. And so we're here having fun. We've had a lot of actually volunteers come trudge through the snow to knock on doors. We feel really good. I mean, we put a lot of time into building an organization, understanding a caucus is a process. Got to turn out your people. And we've had tens of thousands of people that have been committed to us. They're ready to go.
Yeah.
We got many more that are likely to go for us. And then we have the organization in place on caucus night to make the speeches and make the case. And it's interesting, when people take a poll, they can push someone one way or other, but there's a lot of people that still haven't made up a final decision. So I think we're in good situation to be able to capture that. What we found with our folks going door to door is a lot of it is, maybe Trump, maybe DeSantis, and that's kind of where they're at right now. So we definitely have an ability to pick up, but what we've been able to do up to this point, I think is going to pay dividends, and I think people are going to be surprised.
We'll see about that. You may remember a headline when you were running for re-election. I traveled the entire state of Florida, and I couldn't find one person who didn't support you. I have to say, I've traveled about 500 miles here in Iowa. It is a more competitive situation, right? And I know you say you like being the underdog. I know you say the polls, they may be wrong, but this can't be where you really wanted to be.
Well, look, I think that if you would have told me we would have built the organization we would have been endorsed by the governor, Governor Reynolds, who's wildly popular here, had the faith leaders, people from Bob Vanderplaats and all throughout Iowa. That's what you want to do to be able to win. We went to all 99 counties. And I told people when I started that tour, you're not going to see that show up in necessarily a poll. What happens is when people go to caucus, they're thinking and they're like, you know what, this guy showed up. This guy answered my question, or this guy, I remember him coming to my community. That makes a difference.
Yeah.
It made a difference when I ran in Florida because I would go to the rural counties and do things too. So I think we did it the right way, and I think that historically when candidates do that, they have a good night.
You've made, I think, a strong and accurate point about the voters who are voting for Nikki Haley being different from the ones who are voting from Donald Trump and yourself. And the alternative to Trump really is you. So what is that closing pitch to Trump voters who so far anyway seem to like you, but not for this cycle?
Well, Donald Trump is focused on his issues, and that's what he talks about. I'm focused on your issues. I'm focused on your family's issues. It's not about me. It's about the future of the country. I've delivered on 100% of my promises. Donald Trump did not build the wall, did not drain the swamp. I've also taken on the left and the Democrats and beaten them on these big issues. Trump, Pelosi and Schumer beat him on the budget and on all these issues. And so I'm going to be able to get in, win, get the job done. I'm the only veteran running for president, and that means I'm mission first. I'm going to focus on you, not going to focus on me.
I want to talk a little bit about a policy issue. I mean, the border is so huge as a topic here in Iowa, immigration, border security. You're talking about deporting people who are here. You got 11 million undocumented immigrants. Could be even higher than that.
Oh, it got to be higher.
It's got to be higher than that, right? George Bush, Ronald Reagan, even Donald Trump, none of them really had the stomach for deporting that many people. Are you really serious about it?
Yeah, exactly. But here's where we're at. We're at a situation where New York City is closing a school for kids, putting them at home, saying learn at home so that they can commandeer the school to house illegal aliens. And it's like, wait a minute, we got to put the American people first. So I think what we've done, and I support a wall and all that, but you have to take away the incentives to come illegally. And right now, you can pay a coyote thousands of dollars, get to the border, and instead of them repelling you, they'll give you a sheet of paper, say, yeah, you get a court date in 3 or 4 years. That is not a deterrent.
Yeah.
So we have to do that. That's got to be routine. I can tell you in Florida, we're maritime. Coast Guard will interdict boats, but the Coast Guard doesn't have enough resources. So I surged boats last year to be able to help with this. And you know what happened? We would stop. We would turn over people to the Coast Guard. They would deport them to Haiti. You started to see less boats coming in because people knew, why would I want to get in a boat and go through this hazardous journey if I'm just likely to go back where I'm started? People are not going to want to do this journey to the border if they know the result is they're going to end up back where they started.
Yeah, but I'm asking about the people here and also what we do to let new Americans, people who want to be Americans, come in. We're not just two Florida guys. We're both two guys of Italian descent. I was talking earlier about how my great-grandfather came here on an unaccompanied minor, teenager, no English, no papers. I think your family came here in a similar situation.
Yeah, but here's the thing
What's
with
different, and is there still a place? Is there still a place for that kind of immigrant?
When you had people that came to Ellis Island, if they couldn't work, they didn't get in.
It's not true.
If they didn't like the if they were going to be a burden, a public charge, that was a no-no. They did not want. They wanted people that were going to come and work and do that. If you had said you didn't believe in American values, they would not have let you in. So we've gone away from the idea of assimilation And we need to go more towards the idea of assimilation with respect to legal immigration. I look at Europe, what they did. They brought in massive numbers of people who didn't want to assimilate into their society. So now they have some serious fissures. You're seeing a lot of the anti-Semitism that's come out in the wave of the October 7th attacks. Those are largely people that they've imported in a mass way. So we've got to be smarter than that for sure. Of course, there's a role for legal immigration, but I don't think you're going to be able to handle that in an intelligent way until you stop everything that's been happening at the border.
Yeah, you got to stop the flow, and then you can address these other issues. Final question here. I think you probably shared my sadness to seeing the Miami Dolphins fall yesterday in the NFL playoffs. Do you have an alternate team? It's going to be the Super Bowl on CBS this year. Do you have an alternate team that you think is going all the way?
So I'm a Tampa Bay Bucks fan.
Okay.
So I grew up in that area. I know they've got a big game tonight, and they weren't supposed to be very good this year when they lost Tom Brady, but they've ended up being pretty good. The Eagles were really good at the beginning of the year, have kind of fallen off, so maybe we can get that done.
All right, very good, Governor DeSantis. Sorry, I would have assumed you were a Dolphins fan, but of course, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Nate, I should have known. You'll have to tell us if the Tampa Bay Bucks really do have a shot this year. Back to you guys.